Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive right into what the source material frames as the absolute ultimate mystery of human existence. Today, we're exploring a mind-bending intersection of ancient history, modern science, and the hidden potential locked away inside our very own bodies. We're looking at some incredible claims that our biological makeup is far more profound than we've ever been led to believe, that it literally acts as a bridge between ancient codes and the future of humanity itself. To kick things off, we really have to ask a fundamental question. Are we humans purely a product of natural evolution? Well, according to the sources, researcher and scientist Gregg Braden makes a pretty bold assertion here. He notes that human DNA actually contains mutations dating back roughly 200,000 years that completely defy the natural laws of evolution. He reports that these genetic mutations simply could not have happened naturally, which has led some scientists to suggest that some sort of intelligent intervention occurred in our distant past. Now, what's truly fascinating is how modern science is starting to describe this unique biology. A peer-reviewed paper in the Journal of Soft Computing suggests that our DNA acts as a three-dimensional fractal antenna. Think about that for a second. The sources claim this biological antenna is tuned to a higher field of information, basically a quantum field that isn't limited by the standard laws of time or space. So let's look at ancient Essenes secrets and uncovering the past. 24. That number is absolutely crucial. The source material highlights that there are currently 24 undiscovered or completely untranslated ancient languages on Earth right now that hold intact knowledge from our ancestors. This actually includes a newly discovered, untranslated language recently found down in Mesoamerica. It just goes to show you exactly how much ancient wisdom remains completely locked away from our modern understanding. However, the information we do have access to has been revealed at a staggering pace. Just take a look at this timeline. You've got the Gospel of Mary Magdalene discovered in 1896, the Nag Hammadi Gnostic Library in 1945, and then the famous Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. These foundational wisdom texts are actually a very recent modern revelation for us. For centuries, all this information was just completely buried. And that brings us right to the Essenes. The sources define the Essenes as a mysterious ancient sect who are widely believed to be the actual scribes behind the Dead Sea Scrolls. They purposefully separated themselves, heading out to remote places like Qumran. Why? Well, to guard their ancient, pure knowledge away from the corruption and the distortions of the time they were living in. So the really crucial point here is found within one of their most famous texts, the War Scroll. This ancient scroll actually prophesied an ongoing struggle between what it calls the sons of light and the sons of darkness. And according to the scroll, the sons of light only prevail if humans make the conscious choice to accept and awaken their own innate biological divinity. It's all up to us. Moving right along, let's dive into unlocking the Gnostic spark, the architecture of the universe. You see, these ancient Gnostic texts describe the source of all creation as the monad, which is this original, nameless field of perfect energy and information. The sources explain that while humans were created down here in a dense material realm by lesser creators, we were uniquely infused with a biological spark straight from the monad. And it's this exact spark that directly links us back to the absolute highest realm of existence. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. According to these ancient texts, the beings that created humanity's physical forms suddenly realized they had given us a potential even greater than their own. The text famously states, "Our thought was greater than those who created us." And apparently, this realization led to an immediate historical effort by these creators to suppress human potential entirely. To fight back against this suppression, the ancients actually left us tools. The sources share a specific, empowering code tucked away right in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. When facing dark forces or gateways of deception like fear or lust, the individual is instructed to say, "I am not your child, but you are my illusion." This phrase wasn't just poetry. It was literally meant to disarm negative forces by completely revoking their authority over you. Okay, let's fast forward to today, the transhumanist crossroads, the 2030 timeline. This brings us to a critical pivot point that perfectly illustrates what's truly at stake here. Consider these purely organic human traits for a second: imagination, creativity, innovation, empathy, love, and natural healing. The source material alleges that these beautiful, pure expressions of human divinity are exactly what the modern powers that be want to distract us from, or worse, just engineer away entirely using synthetic technology.
This basically forces us to contrast two very distinct paths. The sources outline Braden's view that merging human biology with machines is actually not an evolution. True evolution is gaining natural capabilities and expanding our potential through our organic biology. Replacing that biology with technology? Well, that's framed as a de-evolution. It causes our natural, innate human abilities to atrophy and severely limits our highest potential.
And the sources present a pretty stark warning here. With the rapid rise of things like RFID chips implanted under the skin and synthetic nanotechnology entering our systems, we are barreling toward a massive convergence of cycles. The assertion being made is that if we don't actively choose to preserve our organic biology, we might literally be the last generation of pure humans on Earth by the year 2030. So why does all of this matter? It's because of the sacred nature of our organic vessel itself. Braden claims that if you translate the elements of human DNA using an ancient text called the Sefer Yetzirah alongside the periodic table, our very cells carry a literal, translatable message, God eternal within the body. It strongly suggests our pure biology is a divine temple that is absolutely worth preserving at all costs.
Which leads us to our next section, the quantum code of prayer.
So how exactly do we use this incredible DNA antenna we've been talking about? The sources present this ancient operating system designed specifically to unlock our potential, known as quantum prayer. They break down traditional prayers, like the Lord's Prayer, and compare them directly to a computer program communicating with a quantum field. You've got the declaration, where you state your presence. Then the work, which is actively feeling the activation of the prayer. And finally, the closure, a specific Aramaic code that essentially seals the prayer in trust and faith.
The real key to this ancient technology is a massive paradigm shift. It's moving away from supplication, which is basically begging out of powerlessness and focusing entirely on what you lack, and moving toward manifestation. This means actively feeling the sensory reality and the deep emotion of the answered prayer. You're giving thanks as if it has already occurred right now.
To perfectly illustrate this, the source shares an incredible story of an indigenous man in New Mexico who was praying for rain during a massive drought. Get this, he didn't beg for water. Instead, he visualized smelling the rain on the dirt and actually felt the physical sensation of his naked feet standing in deep, cold mud. He prayed from the feeling of wasa aklat, which roughly translates to meaning it is already done, right now.
And the sources claim this isn't just some abstract theory. The creators of the original material reported massive, real-world anomalies simply by using this exact feeling-based prayer code. They cited miraculous physical healings of spinal injuries in animals, sudden and completely unexplained human pregnancies for couples who had been struggling for years, and even the spontaneous generation of funds for their own studio.
But the sources also come with a pretty heavy warning straight from the Gospel of Thomas. It states, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring it forth, what you do not bring forth will destroy you." Basically, active participation is essential here. Failing to utilize this incredible inner power is framed as the ultimate destruction of our true potential.
So we arrive at the ultimate human choice.
By contrasting our deep, ancient past with our rapidly approaching technological future, we are left standing at a crossroads with a truly profound decision to make. As the world moves steadily toward 2030, will you choose to merge with the machine and alter your natural biology? Or will you choose to awaken that ancient, divine spark already hidden right there within your own DNA? Well, the choice is ultimately yours. Thank you so much for joining us on this explainer, and remember to keep questioning what is truly possible.